We all have those friends who constantly need advice, pick-me-ups. They're always sad, or they always have a problem. Well, I have a couple of friends like that, more than a handful. This leads me to the quote that I was given. Never look down on anybody unless you're trying to help them up. I agree with Jackson because, like I mentioned, I have a lot of friends who are always calling me, you know, like, I have this problem, and, you know, I tend to be like the counselor, I guess. Everybody comes to me for advice or anything. Not that I like know or been in their situation, but I always try to like do the best I can, no matter how many times they've come to me with the same thing over and over again. I think that you yourself have problems too, so why look down on somebody else with problems? Because we've all been, not necessarily in the same situation, but we've all had bad times and bad days. So, yeah, I agree with never look down upon someone unless you're trying to help them up, because you don't want somebody to judge you for having a bad day or having a bad experience or anything like that. Thank you.
Do we get extra credit for commenting on our own?
Online. No, you do. That's not extra credit. That's required.
Oh. So you're just filling out that part on the video? No, you're just...
You do the top part right here in class, and the bottom part while you're watching the video, and then you can put that bottom part on your comments online, or you could make other comments if you like. Yeah. Heck, you can even annotate your video if you want. Yes, you turn it in ASAP next day when you've got it done, but hopefully by the end of next week. All right, you transition to the thesis pretty effectively. The opening is okay. I think if you had a particular example, it would work a little better, but I know the idea that you're trying to get across there. There's no structure that you set up. I thought, for instance, that you were going to use a couple of those experiences where you were the consultant to your friends to talk about you know, maybe 2 or 3 issues where your friends came to you about something, and you know how you had to help one of them with their love life, one of them with their job, and one of them with another friend, for instance, and then you could talk about each of those in a little bit more detail. As it is, it stays fairly abstract, and so you don't get much chance to develop the presentation. On the presentation aspects, your voice projects nicely at the beginning. There's okay variety, and the pacing is pretty good. I thought at the end of the speech, the pacing was the one thing that indicated a little bit of anxiety. You had some good indicators, but they did seem excessive for the amount of time that you were up there, so that might also be another indication of some anxiety issues. You're very friendly at the beginning. You are expressive while you're talking, so I think that that's effective. I caught you a couple of times looking out at the audience instead of engaging the audience. You're just kind of looking in the direction of the people out here, and then you would go back to talking to people. But there were several times when it just seemed like you were kind of staring in the direction of the audience and instead of really talking to us. Like I said, a little anxiety maybe in the last part of the speech. You ended up with a satisfactory exit. There wasn't a big problem with anything that you did. Like I said, a few places where you could do some things more effectively. Thank you.